5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This is the Culture Clash.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome, everybody, to the latest episode of Culture Clash Live here on the Fandom Podcast Network. Today is Friday, August 8th. We're going to have a little fun today. We are hitting our Summer Fandom Spectacular. And you might be saying, wait, Kyle, the summer season isn't over yet. This is true. However, between vacations and time, there's been a lot of movies that we just haven't had a chance to cover yet here on Culture Clash. And we want to play a little catch up here with everybody. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about what might be coming out later in August that we're excited about. But if I'm going to be doing proper reviews of movies and television shows, I've got to have some extra reviewers with me. And first and foremost, I have to have a queen, but she's not a queen of just a certain style. She is the queen of movie foo, so she knows what she's talking about. She is the one and only Miss Lacee Adderhold, aka Queen of Movie Foo, Lacee Pants. Lacee,
you caught me muting my phone.
Better your phone than your podcast.
Right, that's fair. That's fair. This is probably the first time in several where I haven't been like, "Oh crap, I'm on mute again."
But I also need, for movie reviews, I need to bring in the Gene Siskel to my Roger Ebert. I think he's still feeling a little Kev Brady from our most recently recorded podcast too. Hopefully he's put away the scissors and the pizza. Welcome, co-founder of the Fandom Podcast Network, Kevin Cobretti Reitzel.
I've had this match like in my mouth this whole time overnight since we last recorded. I haven't gotten rid of this thing. So just
no chest busters from the 6-day-old pizza you ate.
That was actually good. I just heated that bad boy up. It was pretty good. But yeah, that was a fun podcast.
I'm just stuck thinking about the amount of sulfur that's in your mouth. If
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think when Cobretti had these matches in his mouth, do you think he actually used them? I mean, I think he did them film once, right?
Yeah.
But,
he set them on fire for murder.
There you go.
There we go. Well, guys, this is Culture Clash here on the Fandom Podcast Network. If you are watching live on our YouTube channel, we welcome you. And as always, please be sure to leave some comments out there. We'll talk about them in the show. We love having your opinions in. So do that. And of course, too, if you have a minute and you are watching live or you're watching this video later on the YouTube channel, give that QR code a scan on your screen because it'll take you to our homepage at fpnet.podbean.com, where you can find all of our audio podcasts and all the great shows of the Fandom Podcast Network. But guys, I'm going to say it right now. We're doing it early. Spoiler alerts ahead. Kevin, you want to push the button?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, that's right. We are going to be getting into heavy spoiler territory tonight with what we're talking about because it is our summer movie spectacular, but we also got a little news. We got a little buy it, stream it, or Unsee it, which we're combining with our summer movie spectacular. So it's going to be one huge summer movie spectacular spot. Buy it, stream it, or Unsee it. You're going to see what we've been up to in these last month, watching all these great films. But before we even get to that, we got a lot of fun things happening around the Fandom Podcast Network. So let's kind of get you up to date. It's been a bit. Now, Kevin, we've been time warping it all through 1990 lately.
Yeah, 1990. We're celebrating 35th anniversary of all the films of 1990. And of course, all of the pop culture in between, including the music and the television. We had to break July up into two for just the movies. And then the other one was for television and music. So that was a lot of fun. And we got several more months to go for 90. Got a lot of fun movies that are coming up. And yeah, so make sure you check it out.
Yeah, and then of course, like Kevin was talking about, split July into two parts because it was so big, but a lot of fun movies, but even more importantly, a lot of interesting television to talk about.
Yes,
with that too. So
the breakout of the summer hit television shows.
Now we have another fun summer project going on. We are covering canon films, those great films of the 1980s. Well, okay, great might be a stretch at times, but we are covering the wonderful world of canon films.
Great is no stretch. Well said, Kyle.
And we kick things off with our first ever double header or double feature, I should say, of Couch Potato Theater, Kevin, with American Ninja.
And American Ninja 2: The Confrontation. You got to finish that out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was waiting for you. and Miss Lacey, our third film was one you picked out.
Yes, one of my favorites. I always have this thing where I seem to randomly pull, like Firewalker, action adventure. I picked Commando for Valentine's Day. I picked Long Kiss Goodnight for Christmas. I'm big on the action and the comedy. That's my Jimmy Jam.
Well, you maybe you have a little secret action star that you never let out there. But Kevin, the next one we just recorded this. This will be coming out next week on the network. Speaking of Valentine's Day, this is actually kind of a remash Couch Potato Theater 2. We talked about Cobra because it is one of the staple films of Canon Films.
It is, and it's one of my favorite action films, and one that I always actually watch during Valentine's Day for reasons. And it was nice to we did do a remash of it because we did it originally an audio version of it before we hit YouTube, and we had to bring it to the YouTube, so we recorded a new version of it with, of course, celebrating Canon Films.
Yeah, you have to forgive me. I'm apparently having some issues with my mouse at the moment, so it's deciding to be a little.
I got you here, Kyle.
Okay,
here we go.
I appreciate that. So speaking of summer things to watch, Strange New Worlds is back with season 3. We are through 4 episodes, with the 5th episode having just come out. But Kevin, we've been having a lot of fun at the Federation talking about Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, check it out. Strange New Worlds is fun Star Trek, and they're doing a great job. Episodic television at its best, and they're having a lot of fun with the cast with some fun adventures.
Yes, we are. And last but not least, Kevin, this is a very special project that you put together. It was so big. In fact, it expanded to 2 parts because it was so big.
Well, to clarify, the original YouTube video is uncut, so you can watch that. But we had close to almost a 3-hour show because there was so much to cover regarding Black Sabbath back to the beginning on the Hair Metal podcast here on the Fandom Podcast Network. We had our good friend Johnny K, director, of course, of several great fan films, award-winning fan films like The Killer of Grassy Ridge, The Oath, which was the '89 Batman prequel. He's also done a Star Trek short as well. And he watched this this concert, which was turned out to be Ozzy's last concert because he died 17 days later. And my co-host, Mike Simmer, also watched this special. I couldn't watch it live at the time because I was in Australia. But on the internet, though, I did happen to find versions on sale over the internet. So I'm going to check it out myself because if you guys like that show, the audio podcast was divided into 2. But if you do like that podcast, you want more, we're actually going to be doing a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne and his legacy and his music. And we might have a special guest on that was actually at that concert. So make sure you check it.
This is an absolutely phenomenal podcast, guys. Definitely check it out or watch the full version, full uncut 1-part 3-hour episode on our YouTube channel.
Just to clarify, the reason why it was so long was because Johnny and Mike, since they'd seen it, we covered each of the acts and what happened and the behind the scenes that you could see and who were the special guest stars and the super group jams that they had. So we were very thorough with each of the acts and the takes on it. And it was really, really good takes. I got to give a lot of credit to my co-host Mike and of course our special guest Johnny K for that. So make sure you check it out.
Well, guys, we are here talking about our summer movie spectacular. Here, our summer fandom spectacular with all the great stuff here on the Fandom Podcast Network. But you know what? Before we get started with that, we got a few other things to talk about as well. And guys, there's no better way to kick off things than with a little
Let's News.
That's right. We got a little Let's News here, and I think I've got my mouse finally behaving itself. So, but before we get started with all of our full news, I want to just take a moment. We've had a lot of deaths in fandom happen in between the last episode of Culture Clash and this one. Obviously, we just talked, Kevin, you mentioned Ozzy with that great hair metal podcast you did. not only Ozzy, but we had Malcolm Jamal Warner pass away unexpectedly. Hulk Hogan passed away, and even the great Lonnie Anderson from back in the days of WKRP passed away here recently. It's been coming in droves, guys, and I mean, this is something as we age, people who were iconic as we grew up are starting to pass. But I wanted to give you guys a moment to maybe talk about one of these passings that might have been important to you. Kevin, I'll let you kick things off.
Yeah, I mean, they all hit for a certain reason, but the Ozzy one hit me hard just because I followed him for so long. And when we released that podcast, it was, we're about to release the podcast, he died literally 3 days after we recorded that. And that was the one that probably hit me the most. And then just, another kick to the shin or the nodes here is Lonnie Anderson, who WKRP, big deal. So, and Malcolm Jamal Warner accidentally dying while swimming and stuff. That was just sad. I mean, he was my age. I grew up with him on the Cosby Show.
Yeah. I mean, Theo Huxtable, maybe the most memorable of the Cosby kids. But Lacee, what about you? Was there any one of these deaths that really hit home for you more than any other, or were they all equal?
Yeah, I mean, out of the group, it was Malcolm Jamal Warner. I mean, I grew up watching him on the Cosby Show. He was on so many other random shows throughout the years, and then he sort of showed back up on Community as Yvette Nicole Brown's character's husband or ex-husband, or
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he was so good. And he was always the straight man, but he will be missed. That's one that kind of hit me. And I have to say, if you are caught in a riptide, swim parallel to the shore and you will swim out of the riptide. Don't panic. Find the shore and swim parallel to the shore and you can save yourself.
Well, great advice. Yeah, I remember learning that. Yeah.
I went to sailing school, camp and stuff like that. Like, that was the first thing they said. If you get caught in a riptide, swim parallel to shore. Just in case people don't know that.
So, if you watch any Culture Clash or anything here on the Fandom Podcast Network, I'm a huge professional wrestling fan. And for all the controversies that we've had in the later years, I have to mention Hulk Hogan. He burst onto the scene with Thunderlips in Rocky III. Then you had, of course, the whole era of rock and wrestling with Cyndi Lauper and all of that. Professional wrestling isn't what it is today without Hulk Hogan. I mean, Hulk Hogan was an 80s icon, everything like that. So that one hit home to me. Plus, he did live down here in my area, here near outside of Tampa. He was a big icon in this area, so I think that one hit. But you talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner. I mean, to me, he's the most memorable of the Cosby kids. I was a big fan of his. I've seen him in so many things. I think probably the most recent thing I saw him in was in one of my favorite shows, Suits. And I can
still remember that shirt that he thought.
Oh, that's one of the most classic TV moments ever.
He wanted that designer shirt, and then his sister says, "I can make it for you." It did not come out too well.
I want to throw this out there because he did a science fiction show with Luke Perry back in the day on Showtime called Jeremiah. And I think that is a very highly underrated show. If you can find that either on
Lacee, hold on, you're on mute, Lacee, but do you have that one?
Yes, I do. 1 second, please.
Wait, this is a regular occurrence, ladies and gentlemen. We bring up something, Lacee has it in the wall of DVDs and Blu-ray.
The physical media wall. There you go.
No, but
it might be way over there, and I'm wearing pajama bottoms, so I'm not going to walk over there.
There we go. But Lacee, you remember the show I'm talking about? It was actually originally aired on Showtime around the time Stargate SG-1 was airing on Showtime as well. It's kind of a Friday night sci-fi double feature. But a very underrated show, and both Luke Perry and Malcolm Jamal Warner were excellent in it.
And it was one of those things where it came around right around the same time as Jericho. And so a lot of people who I found it because someone kept saying, you got to watch Jericho. You got to watch Jericho. And I was like, okay, fine. And I was like, what did they say? And I was like, what did I call it? Jeremiah. Oh, okay. That must be what and then I watched it and I'm like, oh, it was so good. I'm talking about it. And they're like, what? So it was like, oh, so I'm watching the wrong show. Okay, well, that's cool, but you got to watch this one too. This one's awesome. So you kind of got two shows out of it.
Yeah, I don't remember that show at all. I remember Jericho, but I don't remember.
Yep.
Yeah, Kevin, I would strongly recommend hunting it down and checking it. I think it ran for 2 seasons, maybe 3, if I remember correctly. But Again, it was when Showtime was doing science fiction. I know it had at least 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So
I want to say it was more than that.
Yeah. Well, while you look that up, let's get into our next piece of news because, guys, normally we put this on True Believers, but we've kind of covered a lot on True Believers lately. But just the other day, the latest edition of Spider-Man Brand New Day started filming, and he has an incredible friend for this movie because it has been announced that Mark Ruffalo will be returning as the Incredible Hulk in this film. There's some rumors it might be the Savage Hulk and not the Professor Hulk. And of course, we already know John Barenthal, Kevin, is returning as the Punisher for this film as well.
Is this still because the Hulk can't get his own film because of those weird rights that Disney doesn't quite have? That he can't have his own movie, but he can co-star in one, right?
Yeah.
Good to have him back, though. I love him as the Hulk, so this will be fun.
Yeah. This comes 14 years after the 57-year-old actor, Mark Ruffalo, first joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the Avengers. Production is going on in England right now. And also, Michael Mando will also return to his role as the Scorpion, the villain from 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming. So a lot of interesting things happening with this Spider-Man film. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really looking forward to the new take they're going to have on Spider-Man as well.
What do you think, Lacey?
I was going to say it's 2 seasons for Jeremiah. I checked it. I can't wait. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. I know that it's going to happen, and I'm excited. So I am going to hopefully I will successfully avoid trailers and whatnot. In the meantime, what is it? It's 2026, right? Is it November 2026? The release date?
I believe that it's November, but I've also heard July. So
okay. Oh, that's right. It's July 31st because it's my birthday. Just kidding. Sorry.
You get a little Spidey for your birthday.
I do. Yay.
Well, Lacey, I might ask you to cover your ears at the moment because we are going to talk about a trailer that hit. And I don't know if you actually saw this in the theater or not because it came out before Fantastic Four. And that is the newest Avatar film. We've got our first official trailer for Avatar, Fire and Ash. Kevin, I will say this, no matter what you think about the Avatar movies, James Cameron makes these movies look beautiful.
True. And, the trailer really didn't give any plot points away, really. It was just, more Na'vi and sort of more Na'vi and then humans looking like Na'vi. And I'm still going to go see it. Gotta hopefully get to see it in 3D. I love my Avatar, and I'm going to go watch it.
Well, and the nice thing about these movies is they just make money because Avatar Way of the Water hit an opening franchise record for Cameron Films with 134 million domestic and 441 million worldwide. The second film ended its run at $2.32 billion, becoming the third highest grossing movie ever at the global box office. Combined with the original Avatar movie, they have combined to make $5.24 billion on 2 Avatar films.
Yeah, we still have the people that'll say, no one will go see these. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Lacey?
I didn't go see the second one.
The billion will say otherwise, that you're a minority.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. It's just that I already saw Ferngully once, and I didn't need to see another one. And there's no making a better Ferngully. Like, Ferngully was amazing. And so, don't get me wrong. I enjoy all the actors. I watched it the one time, maybe the twice when I got it on.
Ferngully was cute, but Avatar was better.
Yeah.
Or you could just say, we saw a space version of Dancing with the Wolves. Its story's been retold over and over again. Yeah.
Now, Kevin, I think the next thing is important because after all these years, the Doctor is coming to Star Wars. That is correct. Matt Smith is ready to take his next fight to a galaxy far, far away. Deadline is reporting that the House of Dragonstar is on board to join Ryan Gosling in Lucasfilm's Star Wars Starfighter. Mia Goth is also on board with Sean Levy directing. This is one of multiple villain roles, according to sources, with Levy still looking to cast a female antagonist that at one point had Mikey Madsen eyed for the part. Gosling will be starring in Starfighter, which has right now a tentative release date of May 28th, 2027. Kevin, you know how big Matt Smith a fan I am. He's probably my favorite Doctor. I love the fact that we're finally getting him in Star Wars, especially since there were plenty of rumors that he was supposed to be in the last of the last trilogy, that sequel trilogy, as a young Palpatine, which that turned out to be false. But Matt Smith in Star Wars is just a hand in glove fit, Kevin.
Okay, well, is it him or the other doctor that does the voice of Ahsoka's personal droid in the Ahsoka TV series?
And that is David Tennant.
Okay, so we're having doctors in Star Wars, basically. So
Yeah,
this is cool.
yeah.
The two best doctors, in my opinion, next to Eccleston, of the recent Doctor Who run, who I think is great. But good to see them in Star Wars. I love Matt Smith. Matt Smith actually really impressed me in the House of Dragon. I thought that was really cool. So yeah.
Lacey, I know you're a fan of the Doctor. Are you a Matt Smith fan?
No, you know what? It's funny. I am a Christopher Eccleston fan. Like, he's my doctor. But
he's my favorite. I love him.
Nice. But I mean, I've seen Matt Smith in other stuff. He's fantastic. We love him. It's great. I'm not dissing any doctors. I like all the doctors. But I'm very confused about the tactics with Star Wars. At one point they were like, when they made the sequel trilogy, they made a big point of not using any, like, everyone was unknown. They wanted to get fresh faces. They wanted to, just see who they could find and bring those people into kind of a new, a whole new situation, right? A whole new group of people where no one was going to be like, oh, the Doctor's on the, whatever. And then they go back and they kind of the same thing with what's it? The fourth one, between 3 and 4, Han Solo, Rogue One. Thank you. With Rogue One, they had Mads Mikkelsen, and so maybe a few more lesser known stars as far as the American audience had some.
Rogue One came out before the prequel trilogy.
Sure, I'm saying, I'm just talking about like the different, So, and then they had Solo where they picked like stars. You had Woody Harrelson, you had And so now I kind of don't know, like, why did they? Don't get me wrong, I love both of these people. They're gonna do great. I'm digging it. That's all
I think I understand what you're saying. You're surprised they're having big names in Star Wars.
Yeah, like why all of a sudden did they decide?
I don't remember them being in narrative that they would only choose unknowns. I know that they wanted to pick a fresh face for like Rey and stuff like that, but.
Oh yeah, Abrams was really big about. He said like I will do this, but I want to get all new faces.
Well, I'm sure that worked for the first film, but as you probably know, the sequel overall kind of fell very flat with a lot of people, and changes and directions have been made, and they want to get some big names, obviously. So.
And I think because too this particular film is like Solo and Rogue One, where it's a bit of its own standalone project as well. I think that kind of where they're not going with all these big stars throughout the full narrative. I think that might be part of the reason why they're doing this too. I just want to say too, and Kevin, I especially want your thoughts on this. Doesn't it feel like that of all the Star Wars projects we keep hearing about, this is the one that's actually moving forward and actually feels like it's going to actually be a reality?
Yeah, because Disney and their promises to shareholders were caught in a bind, basically. And they said, we need a effing movie because all of these other plans and, agendas and hiring directors that didn't have the experience that they should have had. And a lot of the TV shows not doing well. They realized we need a Star Wars movie in the theater sooner than later. And The Mandalorian is going to be coming out next year. But we want another story that's not necessarily tied to something that you've had to have seen before. And Sean Levy was available, and he wanted to do it, and Ryan Gosling wanted to do it, and I think they greenlit this faster than anything they have done since Rogue One and Episode 7 came out, because they realize they have star power. They need to get Star Wars into the theaters again because that's what should be done, and then pull back on the TV series.
Yeah. And it's I kind of think it's interesting because Ryan Gosling has a Han Solo. Wasn't he considered for Solo at one point?
He was probably one of the names that was thrown out there, but he's on a roll right now. And I don't know if you've seen a trailer to his newest film that's coming out. It's the one from the people that did The Martian.
The one on Amazon about him being like the astronaut being sent to Hail Mary, I think it's what the name is.
It's called Hail Mary. It's based on a book, and it's a very funny trailer, and He has to go and do this thing, otherwise Earth's going to die. Basically, their son's going to die, and he's not. Anyway, he's on a roll right now with, of course, all the films that he's been doing, and also with Fall Guy, and he's a very good-looking guy, but he's very talented as well. And I can't wait to see him in this. I'm really excited.
Right on.
Now, Kevin, before we get to this next piece of news. Yeah,
I see what you did there.
I'm going to let you take over this because you are the host of Blood of Kings.
So this kind of surprised me. They've been leaking some Highlander reboot casting. Of course, Chad Stahelski, who's directing, Chad Stahelski, of course, of the Wick franchise, is directing this, and this is a passion project for him, believe it or not. He's a fan of Highlander. And we got Henry Cavill as the Highlander. And then it was announced that we had Russell Crowe as the mentor / possibly the Ramirez type. And then not Mikey Madison, excuse me. I have this Blu-ray right here, actually. Marissa Abella. I'm going to hold up this real quick, guys, for you to see. This is Marissa Abella as Amy Winehouse in the movie Back to Black here. All right, you got me there, Kyle? All right.
Yeah, I got you there.
Let's do that here. So she has been cast as the main female lead in the movie, supposedly be an immortal. I watched this, by the way, a very good film. She actually does her own singing as Amy Winehouse in this film. Highly recommend it. If you have any interest in Amy Winehouse, she was really good in this. But then we got another casting, as you are referring to here, Kyle. We got David Bautista as supposedly the Kurgan-esque character. I'll get to that in a second. He actually was on the short list of a lot of fan casting to play this type of either recast as the Kurgan or something like the Kurgan, the ultimate warrior that tries to hunt down Connor. And apparently it's now come to fruition. It's happening. Variety reported it. When I first saw it, I was looking, okay, who's really reporting this stuff? Because this was reported by fans a long time ago as incorrect, but apparently it's happening. And I just want to make it clear too, this is all the names that these people are playing that actually hasn't been officially released by the production company themselves. Assuming that we're going to get, a Connor McLeod, and that is going to be Henry, that's great. But we don't know if Russell's playing Ramirez or if it's just another mentor type character, or if he's playing the Kurgan. So
yeah, I'm curious about this because I don't know if Dave Bautista. I don't think of him as having that kind of really crazy Kurgan energy. And I'm a huge Bautista fan, so I
really hope he plays it differently, though. I really do. I hope he does.
Yeah, I hope he does too. This is Kevin. I want to ask you just real quick about this movie too, because it's coming. Amazon has the rights to this and is distributing it. How are you feeling about this movie right now? Because there's questions of Amazon either, will they put it straight to streaming or is it going to hit theaters? Where are your thoughts on that?
I know. I hope that it gets a theatrical release, but if it's Amazon, it'll probably go straight to Amazon. But I would like to see this on the big screen. As long as they do a good interpretation of the story. I don't want them to do like a shot for shot or anything like that. And I hope that they bring their own kind of lore to it that maybe we haven't seen before, maybe introduce the watchers like the TV show did. I have my hopes up. I'm not one of these Highlander fans that say there should be only one. Blah, blah, blah. I find that argument the weakest on the planet. I'm always hopeful for another interpretation of a remake or a reboot. I like to give the filmmakers a chance, and I'm passionate about this. I really want to see what their interpretation is, and I'm fine with them rebooting it and seeing what they can do with it, because I think the people behind the scenes, like Stahelski himself, feel very strongly about this project, and I think they're going to do it justice.
Well, we have one more piece of news that broke late yesterday that people are talking about, and it involves Gina Carano, who we know have been on the outs with Disney for a while. There's even been a lawsuit. Well, we've had a little change in that status. Disney and Lucasfilm have settled a lawsuit with Gina Carano, who accused the studios of discrimination and wrongful termination over being let go from The Mandalorian. And a statement from Lucasfilm's spokesperson said, "With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Ms. Carano in the near future." Carano herself has said it is the best outcome for all parties involved. The only thing I'm going to say about this, guys, is that I did love Gina Carano's character in The Mandalorian. I thought she was a great addition as far as her character goes. So if we can put aside our differences and they can find a way to maybe bring her character back in some fashion, I would love for the opportunity to see that, and just hopefully everybody can move forward and lessons learned from what happened on all sides.
Both sides did dumb things and said dumb things, and hopefully they both learn from it. I think that hopefully we'll see what happens and come to it. I know a lot of people aren't happy with this, and a lot of people are happy with it, and it's decisive and probably annoying to some people, and some people are really excited about this. But I think both sides learn things, and that's important. So
yeah,
people can change.
Lacee, I can't remember. Have you watched The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did you like her character?
I did for a minute.
Okay. Well, by the way, our good buddy Ghostbusters Quick Response Unit is in the house. He brought in some thoughts on your Highlander, Kevin. He said, I'm always trepidatious about a reboot, but I always try to be cautiously optimistic. I'm with you there, Chris. I'm cautiously optimistic as well. But the Highlander fandom can be very visceral at times, especially when it comes to the original film. And a lot of people will say what happened after the original film didn't exist. And I'm not one of those people, but I understand exactly how you feel. Trust me. Well, guys, that's going to wrap up the news section, and let's get things going into our main topic for this week's show. Okay, guys, it is the Culture Clash Live Summer Fandom Spectacular. We're going to do a little bit of entertainment catch-up on things we haven't had a chance to talk about because it's been a while since we've done a Culture Clash. We love our summer movies around here. We love movies in general. We love our summer TV, our summer projects. I mean, Kevin, we talked about this on Time Warp recently because we talked in 1990 how that was such a change where we started getting new summer television in 1990 and how that changed the TV landscape. Yeah, and it was not only did it change the TV landscape, but it also heightened the summer movie business as well, because we have to thank Jaws for doing that in the 70s, and then the summer blockbuster became a thing. But big summer blockbusters were always something very exciting to go to, and and then when it came to like 89, maybe 89 Batman, and then beyond into the 90s, we started getting those midnight premieres, and the summer movie season usually always started around, Memorial Day weekend. And then it starting earlier. I remember the summer movie weekend, like over the last 15 years, started creeping back into April because of the Fast and Furious franchise and stuff. And then streaming and COVID hit and decimated the summer movie thing, and it's slowly starting to come back. And Deadpool and Wolverine had a hand in that. And this year, I feel like we're getting the summer movie season not back per se, but it's getting better. We're going to talk about that. But Lacee, I got to ask you. I mean, you are the queen of movie food. Is summer movie season your favorite time of year, or do you have a different season of movies that you prefer?
You know what? I am in 12 months a year. I think there are a lot of really good action flicks that come out in the summer, and that's kind of my stuff. So between action in the summer and then the comedy around, the other, the Christmas through February, Christmas through Valentine's Day, that little section, those are my two favorite times of year.
There you go. Well, we got a lot of fun summer movies for this year that we're going to talk about. But before we get that, we're combining it with our buy it, stream it, or unsee it. So guys, buy it, stream it, or unsee it. We're mixing things up here. We're Culture Clash. We're clashing things together, putting it together. So we got our summer movie fandom spectacular, and we're reviewing things as we go along. And of course, too, we got to talk about our friends at Letterboxd. Kevin, what's the count up to? I'm at 278. I just watched a film this afternoon. I watched Zero Dark 30 for reasons. And Lacee, what about you? I see you accessing the app as we as we speak. Where are you at in your letterboxes? I know you've also been watching a lot of TV this year.
You're on mute, Lacey.
Dang it. 240. Oh, but I haven't put two. There's 3 that I haven't put on there. So
243 it is.
243, yeah.
The gap is shrinking. Yeah, I'm just saying the gap is shrinking.
It's not going to go very far in the next month or so because I'm doing a full binge of Stargate SG-1 for Dragon Con because I've got a panel that I'm on. So I will not be seeing any movies for the next probably 22 days.
Ghostbusters, Chris, you want me to hit you? I mean, we try not to talk about violence here on the Culture Clash and on the
He says, "Hit me, Kyle." What does that mean? I don't know.
I think he wants to hit. I think he's ready to be hitting some movies here. So let's get into it now, guys. Usually, one of the big parts of summer movies is the comic book films, and we've had some big ones this year. But before we're going to give a little comments on all these here, but just a reminder too, we are covering all of the comic book TV and movies on True Believers. And because Kevin played with the Tesseract so much over the last several weeks, it's caused a rift, and we now are not covering just MCU on True Believers. We are covering all things comic book related as far as film and television on True Believers. And it started with the biggest one of all, Superman. And we had a great crew. We had our own version of the Justice Gang join us on True Believers to talk Superman. But guys, since we're here, just give me a couple quick sentences on Superman. Lacey, you are the Lois Lane of this podcast. Do you care to give me a couple quick thoughts on Superman which I know you very much love?
I think I'm actually more of the Mr. Terrific. I'm just saying. Well, that's all I have to say. Like, Superman was great. Casting was amazing. But when it comes down to it, as far as the non-main character, I would say that Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen and Edie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific really, really stole all their scenes. And they were just fantastic. No pun intended. No, terrific, fantastic, whatever. Anyway, yeah. And also squirrels. Everyone loves squirrels. That's awesome.
Well, Lacey, I will say too, it went better for him as Mr. Terrific than it did in the last comic book superhero character he played in X-Men First Class.
Gotcha. It also went better for him than it did in Twilight.
That's true. Kevin, you are our crypto. I need your thoughts on Superman.
Well, yeah, when I went to see another movie and get another popcorn bucket, they still had Crypto the popcorn bucket. So I was able to finally get one, and it was the last one that they had. Superman, I loved. I thought it was great. Superman returned to form to the big screen for us. And David Corn Sweat was just absolutely fantastic. And Lacey touched on some of the other great characters in that movie. And I'm really excited about getting that in the physical media and watching it again at home.
Brilliant casting, great storyline. James Gunn pulled it off. Crypto is my new favorite super pet of all time. No offense to my little kitty over here, but yeah, Superman is absolutely fantastic and a ton of fun. One of the funnest movies of the summer. But we had another huge superhero film because we had the latest addition to the MCU, which we just released on our True Believers podcast, the Fantastic Four First Steps. I just want to say, I thought this movie captured the spirit of the Fantastic Four. The cast was phenomenal. I love the fact that they kind of put it in its own little world for this film because I think it really worked for these characters. Maybe not quite as fun as Superman, but very fun in its own right as well, and a great nostalgia trip too. Kevin, what were your thoughts on Fantastic Four?
I'm not going to compare the fun. They made their own fun, and it was great. Visually, it was fantastic. Oh my God, it was fantastic. And I just did a pun there. It was fantastic. Mm-hmm. The thing that was the best about it, I'm just going to sum up when we did this show, was the family that we got. That was really well done with the main cast, and they spent time on the family. And when we needed to see their superhero powers, we saw them, but it wasn't overused, and I thought that was great.
Lacey, your thoughts on Fantastic Four?
I'm struggling with my superlatives. I keep saying terrific and fantastic, and I have to kind of scoot over to maybe outstanding and amazing. But yeah, it was what I wanted from this movie. You know what I mean? Like, there have been a couple of tries. I enjoyed those tries. This one is the one that kind of sticks for me. And I did get a copy of Doomed, which is the documentary about the making of the Roger Corman version. I haven't gotten the Roger Corman version. Trying to find a place to find.
Dragon Con's around the corner, Lacey. I'm just saying.
Yep. But I did get a copy of Doomed, which I'm going to be watching very soon.
If you find a good copy of it, let me know, because I want to get one and watch it too.
Okay, cool. If I find one at Dragon Con, you want me to pick you one up?
Yes, please. Yeah.
We might have to do a group watching in November. I'm just saying.
Right on.
Chris in the chat says, I'm still buzzing over Fantastic Four, and I'm considering going to see it again in a theater, which is something for me. Nice. Yeah, not a lot of people are seeing stuff multiple again, you know. So, Chris, did you ever go see movies more than once a lot when you were younger? Because I know I did. So, yeah.
How many times was it for Force Awakens?
30.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with Chris, too. I have seen the Roger Corman version. It is surprisingly well done for what it is. Now, real quick, too, we had a little TV. We had Ironheart, which mixed reactions on. I think it's across the board, but it is going to live, whether you want to say it's an infamy or not, because it brings up the M word officially into the MCU. And I am, of course, talking about Mephisto. This was an interesting show. Let me put it that way. We had some mixed reactions about it. Kevin, it was an interesting episode of True Believers, right?
Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that.
Lacey?
Yeah, it was a big no thank you for me.
There we go. And of course, last but not least, a movie I absolutely loved. It was one of the things that kind of kicked off the summer movie season, and that was Thunderbolts. I had a blast with this movie. Florence Pugh was a tour de force in this film. Of course, too, David Harbour as the Red Guardian, and of course, Sebastian Stan as Bucky was always great. But this movie I thoroughly enjoyed. We had a lot of fun with this as well, Kevin.
Yes, and just got my Thunderbolts 4K Blu-ray physical copy right here. Really excited to dive into that. By the way, Chris just says he spent all summer 1984 at Ghostbusters. That does not surprise me. I saw it multiple times myself.
Lacey, Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts is super fun. Yeah, I got my copy a couple of weeks ago, and the 4K does not disappoint.
Good to hear.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, let's get into then some of the movies we haven't talked about yet here on Culture Clash. And let's kick things off with a little Jurassic World Rebirth. One of the big movies of July. July was kind of the big blockbuster month that we haven't seen in a good while. Kevin, I actually want to start with you on this, because you have always had mixed feelings about the Jurassic films.
Yeah, I wasn't really big on the more recent ones. The Chris Pratt one. The last one was just not that good. And I always wanted the dinosaurs to take over, and they did. And I don't know. It just didn't really do it for me, so to speak. But this one actually surprised me. I did go in with low expectations, and this one was a lot of fun. I liked how they discussed how and where the dinosaurs now are located on Earth and why they are that way. And but my biggest problem with all these films is why do they always have to bring the kids in and be in peril all the time? I guess so kids that go see these movies will have someone to kind of live through as if they were there and live vicariously through the adventures and the harrowing chase scenes that they have to go through. But I got to tell you, one thing that you always have to do in a Jurassic Park movie is you got to have a T-Rex. And I love that they always been finding ways to do that. And I really love the T-Rex scene in this film. It made me laugh.
Lacey, your thoughts on Jurassic World Rebirth?
I have an answer for why they bring the children. That's because these are modern day fairy tales, and fairy tales are designed to scare your children into doing the right thing. You do what your parents tell you. Beauty and the Beast, don't go with strangers. Red Riding Hood, also don't go with strangers. Things like that. This is one of those things. If you're on the boat with your dad and your dad tells you to do something, you do it. Otherwise, you get eaten by a thing of the big mouth variety.
Big fish dinosaur.
Yes, a fishosaurus. But no, I loved this one. I enjoyed this one. This is probably number 3 out of maybe number 4 out of the whole 7 for me, just because it was not, you didn't have to learn anything. It was a straight up adventure. There was a reason and an expedition, and this is how we do it, and this is what's going to happen, and we're going to do the thing. There's some problems. We got to get past some things, but this is what we're going to do. Very enjoyable. We didn't have to. I loved the first one. I enjoyed the second series, but I think that this one being I didn't want to have them rehash the tech, because we all know how they got here by this point, and I think that they were really good about not overstating the requirements for this. The one comment that I have is that I think that they were kind of pushing a little bit too hard on the potential for a relationship between Jonathan Bennett and Scarlett Johansson, which seemed odd within the context of the action. But other than that, this was a super fun popcorn movie. Matter of fact, I forgot I should have brought my popcorn bucket.
I got a question to ask you though. The relationship that you touch on though in that film, I got kind of a National Treasure vibe between the two, because one's the historian, one's the hunter, and they worked really well together, kind of like what you saw in the National Treasure movies with Nick Cage.
I mean, no one in National Treasure was trying to eat anybody, but other than that, I'll give you that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well,
right on.
Ghostbusters, our good friend Chris at Mr. Ghostbusters himself says, I've been disillusioned with Jurassic Park for a long time, but hearing you guys, I might have to give it a shot, but probably not in the theater. So
it's interesting you say that, because on my recent trip to Australia, I did pick up Jurassic World in 3D because I'm kind of curious. I never did see it in 3D originally. That was the first Chris Pratt movie, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, I had to pick up the original Jurassic Park in 3D as well.
Nice.
For me, I actually had a lot of fun with this movie. I would probably consider it my 3rd or 4th favorite in the Jurassic series. I think having a self-contained story, much like Fantastic Four, really helped it. I thought the cast was phenomenal. Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali were great in this. And it went back, and part of this was, I know one of the original writers of the Jurassic Park script came back to help write this film. And it really did have a sense of that feel of it. I think maybe one of my biggest problems with it was every version of Jurassic Park has had kind of some sort of uber dinosaur, whether starting with the T-Rex and kind of growing from there. We had the Spinosaurus. We've had other things. The uber dinosaur that's in this film, really not that impressive looking. I'm going to be honest.
It looked like this guy right here,
except with a much worse head.
It was a Rancorosaurus, and if you look at it, it actually has been confirmed that when the one that was designed in this movie was inspired by the Rancor that I'm holding here in my hand.
Lacey?
When I went and saw it I saw it twice in the theaters. When I saw it the first time, there was a kid in there, and he was probably 8, maybe. And as we're walking out, he was like, Dad, that big one was like the Dumbosaurus. And I was just like, oh, honey. No, Doofosaurus. He's a Doofosaurus. That was a Doofosaurus.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Doofosaurus, because the Doofosaurus could have been something that was in the next film we're about to talk about, which I know you both have seen, and that is the remake by one of our favorites, Seth MacFarlane, of The Naked Gun, starring Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. Lacey, you're having a hard time containing yourself down there, so I'm going to you.
Okay. I loved this movie. There were some very specific statements made about people like OJ and Bill Cosby that were perfect. The Clippy, there was a Clippy moment, which is also hilarious. And we had a little cameo that should I blow the, I don't want to blow
we are in a spoiler zone.
We're in a spoiler zone. Okay, so the Dave Bautista cameo is my favorite new, like, he's just so much fun. And I know he's been doing a lot of comedy stuff recently.
Stuber is a great comedy film with him in it. If you have not seen Stuber, if you have any question about Dave Bautista's comedy chops, go.
Oh yeah, Stuber's great, and then he's also got kind of like the kid friendly comedy stuff with My Spy, My Spy 2. Super fun, like adorable, and you know, and it was just like this tiny little minute, and it was so well done. Yeah, and I also have initials written down LMP, and now I can't remember who was in it that was LMP. It's like I want to talk about that. Can't remember.
Wait. Kevin, nice beaver.
Thanks. I just had it stuffed. Thank you, Kyle, for saying that. A tribute to the original Naked Gun. They had the beaver popcorn bucket at the theaters. I was able to pick one up here. I love this. See, put it in there. Basically, you open up the beaver's back and you put the popcorn in there. So there you go. There's also the cup. Check this out. And if you guys know from the original Naked Gun openings, they have the cup with the red light at the top. And
from the Tales of Police Squad.
And it chases you around, and you have this going on. So, yeah, I was able to get that. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a lot of fun. One of the best cameos, though, you got to throw in Weird Al Yankovic. And not only was he a cameo, but he was also at the end credit scene as well. And there was also a quick Priscilla Presley in there as well, because she, of course, co-starred in the original Naked Guns stuff. So, Lacey?
I was going to say, and don't forget the huge Buffy shout out, which I loved.
Bucky? You mean Bucky the...
No, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, Buffy the Vampire... Oh, God. Buffy the Vampire Slayer on TiVo joke had me laughing so hard because I used to have TiVo. Mm-hmm. It was hilarious. I got to give a big shout out, though, who really surprised me was Pamela Anderson. She was so funny in this, especially when she did the whole jazz scat thing. It was freaking hilarious.
So good. So good.
And Liam Neeson did not disappoint. I thought it was really well done. And the best thing about the Naked Gun films, and you have to nail it every time you do it, it's got to be under 90 minutes, and they did. So there you go.
Also, a tip, don't forget, do watch the credits, but don't just wait for the end, because there is a post-credit scene. In the credits, read the credits. It is worth reading the credits.
Especially the on-set dressing.
Kevin, I just should say you should probably hide your cup, because I think a Ghostbuster might be coming for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, check your theater. I mean, I think this is the one that I got at AMC, I think it was.
It's nice.
And then the Beaver was at both the AMC and the Regal that I went to visit to get it. But I did see it at an AMC. So,
well, you guys have talked Chris into going to see Naked Gun tomorrow. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah, it was well done. And there was you do see a brief cameo of the actual beaver from the original film, and there you do see it. So yeah,
it sounds like this movie really does pay tribute to what came before it very well.
It does, and I hope Liam Neeson was perfectly casted as what we've seen from Liam Neeson in the past, and I hope he does it again. So, and
Paul Walter Hauser, he's so good. Like he can go from playing Richard Jewell to playing this, and it's just like this guy.
And he's on a roll. He was in Fantastic Four as the Mole Man.
He's my new season ticket. Like I'm actually getting ready to go back and go through all of his stuff and figure out everything he's been in. He was really funny in Super Troopers 2, the little cameo in that.
Chris asked what theater were the cups from. I got that one at the AMC. But you might be able to also get them. Check Regal too, because I think they've both been carrying the same thing. But I got mine at AMC. So
I know the Regal near me has the beaver, but not. I didn't see the
cup,
the bubblegum top. Yeah.
Well, guys, we talked about this movie a little bit ago on Culture Clash because Kevin had went and seen it, and Lacey, you had too. But I just got to literally this afternoon finally got a chance to go see F1. I absolutely love this film. I thought it was spectacular. Brad Pitt and is phenomenal in it. It felt like Kevin, a higher quality version of Driven meets Days of Thunder, but it hits on every note. You add this to another movie that I would mix into was the Gran Turismo movie that came out a couple of years ago with David Harbour in it.
Yeah,
it was a lot better than what I expected. But this movie was phenomenal. This might be one of my favorite Brad Pitt roles, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's a guy who loves to race, not just race a particular type of car, just racing in general. It's in his blood. And I want to give the movie credit for opening my eyes to the world of F1 and how it's run and the circuit and how high tech the technology is and how, these teams work together. And the overall cast was great. It was just a great summer movie. I saw it in Australia, but when I came back, I'm like, I know I have to take my dad to see this. And he loves Brad Pitt more recently in whatchamacallit, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he'll rewatch that all the time. And I took him to see this, and he absolutely loved it. And he says it was one of his favorite racing movies of all time.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it.
Lacee, did you see it, Lacee?
No, I didn't. I was going to, and then it was out of my theater, and I was like, I'll get it on it. I'll
make a point to
end up
see
with
it. I think this is a Lacee movie. I think it is.
Yeah,
I think you'll really like it, Lacee.
Okay. Well, you mentioned Driven, and I loved Driven. So
there are aspects of things that happen in Driven that are similar to aspects of F1.
Yeah.
We need a Cole Trickle and a Sunny crossover now.
We kind of had. We did have it at the premiere because Tom Cruise did show up to support Brad Pitt at the premiere. F1 has kind of become a big thing thanks to a Netflix documentary that came out during COVID, and it really blew F1 up. And now ESPN is a big home of F1 racing.
It's become huge in Australia, and posters and banners of this movie were everywhere. They're on the side of trains and buses. It was crazy how much this movie was promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said there was a Netflix documentary or something.
Yeah, Netflix did a documentary about F1 during they followed fall. I think it's had two seasons of it now where they follow.
I gotta check that out because I'm fascinated by
teams.
I got an FYP of it for like the first season, and it's got 3 episodes on it just to kind of check.
FYP.
FYC for your consideration.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They send them out to people for
screeners. You basically got screeners.
Yeah. I mean, it was loaned to me, but I'm stoked. I'm gonna definitely jump into F1.
Well, now our next film is one, Lacee, you wanted to make sure I put on the list because I mean, and you have me when you have a kitten on your movie list.
Yes,
this poster looks so sad though.
It is definitely a 24 material. Okay,
say the name of the movie though before you go any further.
It's called Sorry Baby. It is there are some trigger situations, a little bit of some essay happenings and stuff like that, but it's about a woman who lives in a small town, kind of a small area, and she's kind of getting over something, and her best friend is having a baby, and it's a whole thing, and it's a slice of life. It's you see the year. Do you remember the Paul Giamatti movie about the comic book artist, where it had the interstitials with
American Splendor?
American Splendor, where it would say like my cancer year or then this year, and he did like that. It was kind of like that. It would say like the year of, and it did 4 different years. And it was interesting and well done and super sweet, and the kitty cat's adorable, and there's some fun moments and some funny moments and some really heart-wrenching moments.
It looks like the director, the writer, and the lead actress are all the same person.
Correct. But it's really well done. So if you have an interest in, it's kind of a slice of life recovery, not recovery, but like making it through standing up
dramatic events.
So it was really well done. And I will be, are you streaming it and starting? Yeah, I will be buying this.
Yeah. Well, guys, next up to another Lacee recommendation, but this is actually a sequel to what was a very surprisingly successful animated film, The Bad Guys 2, Lacee.
So fun. I saw it this afternoon, actually. So all the main cast of the first one came back. You've got Awkwafina and Mark Maron and Sam Rockwell and Anthony Ramos and Craig Robinson. I am really proud of myself for remembering all those off the top of my head. Just
Zazie Beetz too.
Yes, Zazie Beetz has come back. So fantastic. Sorry, I was looking at the poster. And then we have some new folks coming this time. My favorite being Natasha Lyonne as a character named Susan, which is Yep. So this pits the bad guys. It's kind of similar to the first one in that you had the bad guys being bad guys, then realizing there was a worse guy and having to like deal with the worst guy in order to do their thing. This one is basically they have gone straight, they have gone good, and they get blackmailed by worse guys into doing one last job. So
wait a minute. Now I haven't seen this yet, but from what I saw in the trailer, it was worse gals to get them to do the job.
Yes, they're worse gals. But it's interesting though, because with the original, it was 4 dudes and two gals, because Aquafina plays one of them, and then Zazie Beetz. And so I know they were trying to do like the bad guys versus the bad gals, but it ended up being actually even in this movie. The numbers of male versus female characters ended up as an equal thing.
I don't think I saw the first one. I kind of want to do a double feature when it comes out.
It's super cute. It really is fun. It's very chill, and it's got a lot of like those, adult nuggets that kids won't notice that are just really funny.
Okay, I just got to say this. Let me see if you guys agree with me, because you mentioned Natasha Lyonne. She's kind of having a moment here right now, guys, between this and Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, as much as I loved Robin Hood for my like childhood crush, Sam Rockwell's Wolf, like some little 7-year-old girl is obsessed with this Wolf, this character right now. He's fantastic.
Good. All right.
Next up, too, is a movie actually came out a little bit later, but or a little bit earlier in the year, but we didn't get a chance to see it until later. Both of you guys have seen it. I haven't had a chance yet. I know it's on streaming now, so I'm going to check it out. But I think it's appropriate that we talk about this now because Jenna Ortega is in it, and she's got a big thing coming out. We're going to talk about her shortly, but we're talking about the Death of a Unicorn. Lacey, you have gone gaga over this film.
Yes, and it has a commentary that you have to listen to. It's super fun. There's not one character in this movie, and there's one character in this, there's one actor in this movie that I am not a fan of. And I absolutely love them in this movie. And I'm not going to say who I don't like, because that's not what we're talking about. This is a fantastic. We've got Richard E. Grant. We've got Paul Rudd, Jenna Malone. We've got Taya Leone. We've got, oh my gosh.
Jenna Ortega.
What did I say? I said Jenna. Yeah,
you said Jenna Malone. You said Jenna Malone.
Oh, whoops! Totally different movie if that was the case. But Jenna Ortega and oh gosh, the guy. I can't remember his name. I'm so bad with names. The guy who played the kid in the drug movie with the family with Jennifer Aniston. I just pulled on my mom. That's what my mom.
Will Poulter.
Will Poulter. Taya Leone.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd. Jenna Ortega.
Yes, fantastic. Everyone.
Anthony Carrigan's in it too.
Yes, and he steals the movie. Every scene he's in is the best. Like, he's so funny, and the thing is, he's not talkative.
Anthony Carrigan is the Metamorpho guy in Superman. He's also having a summer.
Yeah,
he's having a good time right now. Yeah, his character. There's a scene where he has to, where Will Poulter's character is kind of a ne'er-do-well who can't keep a job, and so he at one point he's like, "I need you to do this research. Quick, go get my oversized 3D printer." You see him in this background, like carrying this like 200-pound machine. It's fantastic, and he's not even the main focus of that scene, but it's priceless.
My wife and I saw it in the theater when it first came out. I enjoyed it. She was not a fan of it, but I enjoyed it. I thought the visuals were great.
Nice.
All I'm going to say is unicorns, not all sunshines and rainbows, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
See, this kind of gave a Predator vibe, though. Like, as long as you aren't a threat to them, they are the big, puffy, fluffy, white, adorable, glittery.
Except I don't think a Predator was ever adorable, but that's a whole other conversation.
Okay, you're right.
Now, guys, we can't do a summer movie spectacular with Kevin involved without having at least one romantic type film. Kevin, you threw at me my Oxford Year.
I thought that's what I thought I was in the mood for when I decided to put this movie on. And it's my Oxford Year. It stars Sophia Carson, Corey Michael Michael Kreese and Dougray Scott, who almost was Wolverine. If it wasn't
you just threw this up here because you wanted to say Dougray. We know it. That's what so much this is all about.
I don't get the joke, but okay. But yeah, a little trivia. He was supposed to be Wolverine, but Mission Impossible 2 went over scheduled, and so they had to find someone else, and so history was changed. But anyway, I was like, you know what? This new movie's out. Looks interesting. I'm going to watch My Oxford Year, where it's about Anna, an ambitious young American woman, sets out to Oxford University to fulfill a childhood dream. She has her life completely on track until she meets a charming and clever local who profoundly alters both of their lives. Short and sweet, she actually falls for her professor of poetry, basically, because she loves books. She loves the smell of books. She loves libraries. And I can actually say that because I kind of understand where she's coming from, because I love comic books and I love the way they smell, and I love the way magazines and paper smell, So I thought I was getting a, your typical kind of Hallmarky version of a Netflix film called My Oxford Year. But I'll tell you, it took a turn I was not expecting. I'm not going to say it took a depressing turn, but it took a turn of more reality. And where life was in the balance sort of thing. And the person that really stood out for me was both the leads there, Sophia and Corey, but also Dougray Scott, who plays the father of Corey in this. He was really good. He had some good moments in this, and it was all shot on location in and around Oxford, UK. And I highly recommend it. And I told my wife, Erin, to watch it, because normally this isn't really her thing, but she's a fan of Dougray Scott as well as her mom, and they watched it, thoroughly enjoyed it, shed a tear at the end of it, just like I did, and it was very good. I highly recommend it.
I think Kevin just likes saying Dougray because it's fun to say.
I don't know where you're going with that, Kyle, but I'm going to let you have it.
Lacey, have you seen this?
I have not, but I do love Dougray Scott.
Okay, I'm just going to say Dougray just because Kyle likes it.
Yeah.
Dougray.
Yeah, honestly, I always thought it was Dougray, but that's okay.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I will watch anything for my favorite Henry prince in Cinderella with Ever After, and yeah. So
Dougray.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Well, the next film, I know, Kevin, you will at some point be covering this a little bit more in depth on Blood of Kings, because it has to do with Immortals, but The Old Guard 2, a movie you have been waiting a long time for to come out.
Yeah, I was not. So I watched the first one and this new one while I was in Australia with my wife, and they enjoyed the first one, and then we watched the second one. And I got to tell you, I really enjoyed the sequel. But I was really surprised to find out that, well, nope, there's going to be a third one because of the cliffhanger that it leads on. And I really enjoyed the new mythology that we learned about our immortals and what happens and how old some immortals are in this. It will surprise you. And there was a really beautiful location shots again, which is what this movie series has done. And now I'm really excited to find out that there's a sequel to this. So there's going to be a trilogy, I'm assuming. And I'm very happy about that because I really want to see what happens next.
It's been one of the more interesting movie franchises for Netflix. But come on, any movie that gives me the Furiosa versus the Bride throwdown,
Uma Thurman's in it. The only thing in my head, I agree with my wife on this. The only thing I could not stand in this movie, though, was the mullet that Charlize Theron is rocking in this.
It's a little rough. I kind of got me pulling a Rebecca Romaine from that one episode of Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, it's a runner-up for one of the worst hairstyles this year in movies and TV.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen either one of them, but I just ordered them, so they should be.
Oh, they are so Lacey movies. Come on, Lacey.
Yeah.
I want to know what you think.
Right on. Cool. I will let you know.
Well, continuing with the Netflix, this is something I watched recently. This is a documentary series called WWE Unreal. And if you're familiar at all, WWE went into partnership with Netflix at the beginning of the year. Netflix is the home for their flagship show, Monday Night Raw. What's so interesting about this is truly a look behind the curtain of professional wrestling, and it's how WWE especially does things. They've never opened the curtain like they have for this documentary. And it's really interesting to hear people's motivations, why they're doing this. And one of the things that really stood out for me, especially from several of the professional wrestlers, was their relationship with the fans. And and how important it was for them with that, but also too how hard they have to work to maintain that popularity, to maintain their what they call heat as far as their fan reactions and things of that nature. And especially you see on the screen now the movie poster, you see Paul Levesque, who's better known as Triple H, a longtime WWE wrestler, and now is actually the head of creative content for WWE, basically the man in charge. The man across from him is a gentleman by the name of Jay Uso. That's his professional wrestling name. A long line family of Samoan wrestlers. He's related to The Rock. Roman Reigns is his cousin. His brother for a while was his tag team partner. And there's an episode dedicated to him, and he has become one of the fast risers in WWE in the last year, and how he has responded to the crowd and how the crowd response got people reacting to the point where they decided to put a championship belt on him. And it's very interesting. Even if you're not necessarily a professional wrestling fan, it's a really fun and interesting behind the scenes look at professional wrestling. It's only 5 episodes. They're talking about doing a second season, but it's in the lead up to the biggest event for WWE every year, WrestleMania. So there's a lot of interesting things going on there. It's a fun documentary series. Like I said, it's 5 episodes. It's definitely worth to check out, even if you're just a little bit curious about what's really the truth behind professional wrestling. And I think there's even been several wrestlers who didn't realize how in depth they were going to go on this, and so it's been interesting to see the reactions of this online as well. So definitely check it out, even if you just have a slight curiosity about professional wrestling.
Chris in the chat says he got it. He bought his ticket for Naked Gun tomorrow. Yay! Good luck. Hope you get your cup and your beaver.
We expect our royalties here to the Fandom Podcast Network. So thank you. And of course, guys, kind of wrapping up the things that are out of our summer movie spectacular, something that I absolutely love the first season of it. Maybe one of my most favorite shows on television in the last 5 years. Kevin, it always kind of gives me that bit of Buffy feel, but we got the first 4 episodes of Wednesday season 2 dropping on Netflix, and I couldn't have been happier, and I couldn't have had more fun than I did with these first 4 episodes of Wednesday.
Yeah, I just finished episode 2, so I'm still catching up on it. Been a little busy, but I'm really enjoying the vibe. We get Steve Buscemi as the new principal, and you just know everyone's up to something, and it's great. Visually, it looks great, and we get some classic Tim Burton animation with a story that's told because he directs the first episode, if I remember correctly. And Jenna Ortega, this is the role she was made to play. She's fantastic in it, but it's got a great supporting cast so far too.
Absolutely. I will just say this, Kevin, you're in for a treat because the last of these first 4 episodes, they bring back Uncle Fester.
Well, I'm also liking the fact that you also get a certain doctor from Back to the Future as a head in a jar.
Yeah, a little maybe their own twist of Futurama.
Yes, they've been head in a jar professor, and I did not expect that. I thought that was great, and I'm becoming a fan of Slurp.
And Lacey, just so you know, we mentioned how Eccleston was your favorite doctor. Billy Piper is in this season of Wednesday as well.
Nice, very cool. With the first season, didn't they drop 3 and 3 or 4 and 4? Or did
I don't remember.
Monthly?
I think it was 4 and 4. What they did with the current season. The first 4 are out now. The next 4 come out in September.
And had to get my copy of the first season on Blu-ray. I'm glad they did release that.
Same. Yep.
Hope they do the same with the second season as well.
Yeah.
But just real quick too, I don't want to mention, I love how we're getting her parents and Pugsley more involved in the beginning of this first season. It's great.
Yes, Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia Addams she was okay in season 1, but she is so much better in season 2 with what they're doing, how they're writing that character. It's so good. But Kevin, the other thing is too, and I believe you've heard this line because if you watched the first 2 episodes, one of my all-time favorite lines in television was said, "That is like a vegan writing a book about cannibalism." Well, guys, we've talked about what's out, but we have some coming attractions because we're not quite done with summer yet, and we picked out some of our things that we're excited about coming out in August to help wrap up the summer. First, we're gonna
wait, Kyle. We need a soundbite for this, like that Tarantino soundbite that we get beginning of his films. that classic 70s, the coming attractions tune. We need to have that.
Yeah, or like that old HBO special, how it twisted in and
exactly. Yeah.
Hey, at least I got an old school art slide for the show if you're watching on YouTube. So I'll work on that for the next time. But we have several intriguing things coming out, both in TV and in movies. But guys, the first thing I'm kicking off with actually comes out in about 4 days at the time we're recording this. A show I'm extremely looking forward to, and that is Alien Earth on FX. The review embargo has lifted on the show already, and I have yet to see a bad review about Alien Earth. The reviews have been up to people saying it is the best entry into the Alien franchise since Aliens. That's what some of the reviews I've seen. Kevin, I am so excited for Alien
Earth. What's Aliens? I've never heard it before.
Yeah, you know nothing about aliens. Absolutely nothing. I see your wife reaching from Australia right now into the screen to slap you upside the head.
My wife is cautiously optimistic about this film. We're going to watch it, but it's got Timothy Olyphant in it, so I know that Lacee's interested in this. I'm curious. My only problem, and I've been trying not to watch trailers for this specifically. I've seen one, but I hope they don't mess up the timeline too much with this. I'm very curious what they're going to do with this. So yeah,
from what I've heard, I think it's going to add some very interesting elements. But Lacee, are you going to be checking out Alien Earth?
Okay, so Timothy Olyphant has a very I'm in that.
It's the read a phone book section for you, right?
Yeah, but there's a scale, right? If it gets too much on the scary, I will have to forego. I have a bunch of friends who are horror directors, and I will buy a ticket to their show to support them, but I can't watch the movie. You know what I mean? Like, this is, I don't know, because
it is on FX, so yeah, I don't know how far they're going to push that.
FX/Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will give it a try. I don't know how far I'll get into it if it like freaks me out too much.
Did you enjoy Alien Romulus?
Didn't see it.
Okay, I remember. I thought you had and said you had liked it, but I may be thinking.
Yeah, I have it. I just can't make myself watch it because I need to have somebody here to watch it with me. But I need to do it during the day so I can watch 2 Disney movies afterwards to make sure I don't have nightmares.
A palate cleanser, gotcha.
Yeah,
well, I respect that.
Wait a minute. Is it Kevin? At this point, isn't the Alien Queen a Disney princess?
Pretty much, yeah. But I understand. I understand the palate cleanser that Lacee has because sometimes that's when I throw in a Hallmark film. I'm like, damn, that movie was tough.
Yep.
Well, if you want something a little more lighthearted, Lacee, and comedy-wise, Peacemaker season 2 is just about here. My favorite John Cena role, and yes, I have more than the Marine. Kevin, we're going to bring the hair metal back. We're going to bring Peacemaker back, and it's.
Do you know what I'm looking for
Superman on this too?
Do you know what I'm looking forward to the most?
Do you really want to taste it?
You're onto it. I really want to know what opening song they're going to do their dance sequence to, because Gunn has not released that, but he was questioned about that during interviews because he was doing the press for Superman. And so I'm really curious to see what he's chosen because he's been able to throw hair metal into season 1 and have a great hair metal type song as the opening. And it was the first time, I think, in all shows where I never missed the opening credits because I had to watch that opening thing every single time.
Yeah. Now, Lacee, John Cena is at it again because he is going around wearing the Peacemaker costume. He showed up at San Diego Comic-Con as Peacemaker.
I have not seen season 1. I know it's terrible. I have it. I have season 1. It is here. It is in the building. I just haven't had time to watch it yet. It's terrible.
You have homework.
I know.
But Lacee would be proud of me, though. I did pick this up. I picked up Freelance.
Oh, that is a great movie.
Isn't it funny? Yeah.
It is. I love this movie. Freelance with Allison Brie. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, also next up on the TV, there's something we're excited for coming to Amazon. It is the prequel show to The Terminalist, Dark Wolf. Lacee, are you okay over there? Because I have Taylor on the screen, and I know that. Get your heart.
For the listeners, spell that out, Kyle.
Taylor Kitsch is the lead in this, and he might be one of Lacee's favorites. I'm just saying.
Oh, he's absolutely one of my favorites. I've loved him forever. Friday Night Lights 3-3, nice, absolutely. And he's done
John Carter?
Battleship.
What? Battleship, one of my favorites, absolutely. But he's also done some drama. I will follow him into drama. I don't follow many actors into drama.
Well-
With, Normal Heart, all these. He's been in a ton of really good. What was it? It was the war movie with Mark Wahlberg and Last Man or
Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's a really
Well,
good.
I highly recommend that you guys watch the Terminal List with Chris Pratt because he co-stars. Taylor Kitsch co-stars in it because he's one of his fellow former Navy SEAL fighters, and
Cool.
there's some really good action and drama in the first series. My wife watched it for the first time, and I watched it again. It was really, really good. And Taylor Kitsch is in the first one, and this is a prequel to his character because he works for the he graduates from his special forces to the CIA, and that's what this story tells. And with this being a prequel to the first season of the Terminal List starring Chris Pratt has, I think, will have a small role in this because they have to show how that they were buddies back in the day and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
And real Navy SEAL, I'm forgetting his name, was either wrote it's based on a series of books that he's written, and he also has a small part in the first series. And I don't know if he has a part in this one or not, but he's it's basically about him and his stories. So yeah.
Well, we have a few movies too that we're excited about, and one just came out this week. This is a movie a lot of people have been talking about for a good while, Kevin. It's got a very interesting online campaign as well with a very analog type website, but from the creator of Barbarian, Weapons has dropped, and this creepy kids, we're getting close to Halloween. This is a very interesting premise, but I'm curious to see. Barbarian was a very different kind of movie. So
I didn't see Barbarian, and I won't. My wife did. She said it was okay. She's interested in seeing this. I'm actually kind of interested in this too. I'm a big fan of Julia Garner, who we, of course, as the new Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four. She basically plays a teacher whose kids from her classroom all unexpectedly disappear one evening. And so it's got a little mystery in there, a little horror aspect to it. And it's got Josh Brolin in it.
Yeah.
And so it looks very interesting. And it kind of, it to me, it has a vibe of like not too horror-y, but still a little scary, but an interesting story. So I might see it on Tuesday.
Lacey?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
100%.
Lacey's out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
No. Children in horror movies, whether they are the good guy or the evil spawn, absolutely not. Can't do it. Nope. Can't do it. But I wish you well. I hope you enjoy it. Like I'm anytime someone's like, oh,
I knew from the beginning that
for you.
I knew that from the beginning this was not a Lacey movie.
Yeah, like just
I got it. We got it.
thing, but scary with kids, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
I'll
a
tell you what,
line, you have crossed it. Absolutely not.
Well, something I think we should all be very excited about comes out on August 15th. Bob Odenkirk is back. Nobody 2. I cannot wait for this, Kevin. Nobody kind of snuck up on all of us, but it gave us our John Wick feel.
Okay, hold on. What happened with me and John Wick, how next to Eva Longoria, I helped save John Wick. I kind of feel I got the word out on nobody before anybody else did. You know why? Because it opened up the same weekend as one of the Godzilla films. And I was going to go to Godzilla, but they sold out. And so I'm like, I'll check out this nobody film. And this was like right near like the pandemic happening again, and people weren't going to theaters. And I saw it in the theater, and I loved it so much. I went on social media. I told you to go see it. And then I went back and saw it again. And I'm so happy we're getting a sequel here.
Lacey, you have something on your phone?
I do. I'm very excited. What day does this come out?
August 15th.
Oh, this is my ticket for August 12th. I'm sorry, what? I'm so excited. I got the GoFobo.
I love it when Lacey does her version of the Neener Neener.
I know. Neener Neeners. But yeah, I'm very excited about it. I got randomly, for some reason, I never get passes on GoFobo because I never see the email in time. And like yesterday, I was in the middle of something and a ding, and I was like, what is happening? And I was checking my email for someone on the phone, and I was like, oh, hold on 1 second for me, because I was on a call, and I was like, hold on 1 second for me.
So you're seeing Nobody 2 before anyone else.
Yes.
Nice. Very nice.
I cannot wait. I love the first one.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the first one, do yourself a favor and watch it. It was a surprising hit. It was great. And Bob Odenkirk was fantastic. And it's done by the production company that did the John Wick films, and you can tell.
Yeah.
Didn't they also do Love Hurts with Ki Kwan?
I believe they did as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, lots of good action. Like the editing is phenomenal.
Now, the next film is actually something that is very near and dear to our hearts here at the Fandom Podcast Network because it involves one of our good friends. Kevin, we are talking about Primitive War.
Yes, Luke Sparks, who is a huge fan of like Star Wars and nerdy stuff. He is an Australian director. And I have learned about Luke Sparks through our good friend of the network, Blair Hiscock, who I got to see recently while I was in Australia. He flew down from Brisbane with his wife to hang out for almost a whole week. And we nerded out and did DVD searching. And we also went to the Star Wars Lego exhibit. But he's personal friends with Luke Sparks, the director of Primitive War. And they found Fandom together. And then Blair has done some production work behind the scenes on some of his previous films, like Bring Him to Me, which is a cool film. And he got to actually be here on set. He was an extra in a few of the scenes, whether they're in the movie or not, we don't know. But he is I think he's going to have his name in the credits, Blair, as an executive producer, because he did some other stuff as well. And there's also a really nice Comic-Con panel that they did. I didn't get a chance to see it when I was down there because I was doing my G.I. Joe stuff at the time. But there was a really good presence there. And it stars Ryan Quanten from True Blood fame, Tricia Helfer from Battlestar Galactica fame, and also Jeremy Piven from Entourage. So make sure you check it out. I can't wait to see it. Blair was kind enough to give me a promo T-shirt. I'll be rocking that later when I go see it, and hopefully see it on the big screen. So yeah, make sure you check it out. Primitive War.
Yeah, this is a movie based off of a book by Ethan Pettis. Basically, the premise of it is a highly trained Vietnam team, like special forces team, during Vietnam, goes to search for another missing group of special forces, and they don't quite get what they bargained for here, ladies and gentlemen. So it kind of has a feeling of several different things for me when I
just want to mention too that the one thing that really kind of because Blair gave me some behind the scenes stuff, and one thing that he said was time travel's involved.
So
I broke my no trailer rule because I knew that it was coming out before Fantastic Four, and I know Blair, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that because I said that I would, and it was really good. It might be on the scarier side for me, but I'm gonna try.
Looking forward to it. Primitive War. Check it out. Coming out August 21st.
And lastly, coming out in August, this is one of those films that there hasn't been a whole lot put out about this, but the cast alone has got me pulled in because you have this movie Caught Stealing, which is a film by Darren Aronofsky, but you have Austin Butler in it, Regina King, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith, Liev Schreiber, and Vincent D'Onofrio, coming out August 29th. It's a caper film. Kevin, the cast alone's got me wanting to see this.
Yeah, especially Matt Smith as a punker. That's great. I'm very curious to see how this comes about. It's got an interesting cast. It looks like it. I'm not too excited about it, but I will check it out.
There's a cat on the movie poster, Lacey.
You know, up until about 40 seconds ago, I was so excited about this movie, and you said the words Darren Aronofsky, and I will not go see it. I just won't do it. He's the most depressing human I've ever seen. Like every movie that you see of his, you walk out wanting like a Prozac prescription. I can't. I'm not doing
His
it.
movies do have a downer plot to them. Yes.
Yeah.
Not doing it. Nope.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that is going to kind of wrap up our summer fandom spectacular. But I have a little quick hot topic I want to have each of you just address. Kevin, you mentioned this earlier too. We've been kind of missing a blockbuster summer movie season because of COVID and things of that nature. We kind of had a blockbuster month in July with Fantastic Four, Superman, and Jurassic Park all coming out. So my question for you guys, considering the other things we talked about, like How to Train Your Dragon, live action, and a few other films, have you felt like this has been a good summer movie season? Kevin, what say you on this?
I would say it's been a good one. It hasn't been some of the best that we've seen, but what I like about it is that we're getting big movies in the theater. We're not getting instant billion-dollar films like the Marvels and all that kind of stuff, but we're getting, I feel like, good films. The writing has been better. F1 was really good, and Superman was good, and Fantastic Four was good. And I feel like that. I'm not going to say the summer movie season is back, but I feel like more people are going to the theaters again, and like when I went to see a Tuesday showing of Fantastic Four after I'd already seen it, the theater was almost full for a cheap Tuesday movie. And I'm seeing more people in the theaters for the opening weekend as well, and it depends on the area and stuff like that. But I feel like it's this type of getting back to the theater again. I hope that more people do it because, yes, it is still expensive. It really is. So you really have to kind of pick and choose. And that's why I'm grateful for those cheap Tuesdays and that people are taking advantage of those. I mean, I can get a ticket and a little small popcorn drink duo all for like $13-14. And that's affordable. As where if you go on the opening weekend and you get your popcorn buckets and stuff, it's not like that. So we'll see.
Lacey, what about you? Are you feeling like this might be the start of the return of the summer movie season? Have you been happy with this summer movie season so far?
Dude, we had Disney dragons, we had dinosaurs, we had DC, we had something else with D. Doom. We had the Fantastic Four. We had Marvel. So I mean, this is a pretty solid summer. We had, like I said, you had both of our biggest comic book efforts this year, and dinosaurs and live action Disney. I think that's a solid lineup for a good summer. And I totally forgot to talk about it. I'm super stoked to see Freakier Friday. It came out yesterday or today.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
It's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait. I love the combination of Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. I think it's gonna be awesome. So I think we got, and we also had like a bunch of good like younger movies too. Smurfs and a couple other ones that came out that I think really like hit that box office. And Bad Guys too. Great. Yeah.
I think it's definitely a move in the right direction. I think we truly did have a blockbuster month in the summer movie season with July, with Jurassic World, Fantastic Four, and Superman. I think that we are moving back in that direction, whether it's because people are starting to get out a little bit more. I think people are interested in these popcorn buckets, whether that becomes a long-lasting thing. We'll see, especially at the price that they're moving up very quickly on. But I think it's been a good start to return to the theaters, and I hope we can continue to build on that through this rest of this year and going into next summer. Yes, Lacey.
And you, I'm a member of the Regal Club. So for $24, I can see as many movies as I want a month. So that's a really good deal. Did you say that you got one of them?
Yeah, I have done the AMC A+, which gives you 4 movies a week for the cost of $25 a month. And I'm gonna say, if you're a movie fan, you see 2 movies, you paid for it for the month.
If I was closer to any of those theaters, right now they're like an hour away from me, I would do that.
Yeah.
I just can't do that. So,
well, guys,
I would recommend anyone who goes to see a nice chunk of movies, pick one. I mean, either one. And I think some of the other ones, like Cinemark has one. I think Movie Studio Grill has one. So there's some pretty good. Some deals out there if you're like itching to get back in the theater. I want those big audiences back.
That's one of the things I miss about living in Georgia was the great theaters options.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys, I think it's time to wrap up this summer fandom spectacular. So let's get things moving and close out this episode of Culture Clash. Guys, we want to thank all of you who've been watching live on YouTube, or if you're listening to this podcast in the audio version or watching it later on YouTube. This has been Culture Clash Live, episode 281, our summer fandom spectacular. We've talked about a lot of things. We still got a lot of things left in this summer to talk about, which we will be doing here on Culture Clash. We cannot wait. For me, I just have to say my favorite things this summer so far have been Superman, F1, and Wednesday. Kevin, real quick, what have been a couple of your favorite things this summer overall?
Superman, Fantastic Four, and I would say F1. F1 was so good in the theater. Damn, the sound too. But yeah, it's been a good run.
And Lacey?
Well, I mean, I think Superman really did it for me. I think that he's Corn Sweat is my favorite Superman behind Christopher Reeve now. And film wise, I do believe that Tom Welling has a special category because he had 10 seasons to develop the character. But I'm really looking forward to more Superman and, Fantastic Four. Really, really dug that. I'm looking forward to the next, phase of the MCU, which I think is going to be really good. So
yeah, I think we are in for quite a treat with Marvel going forward. And like I said, I think it's been a good summer to build on, and hopefully we continue to build on that. But guys, you have been watching Culture Clash here on the Fandom Podcast Network, and we hope you've been enjoying everything we've been talking about and maybe inspired you like we did Chris to go buy a movie ticket, because we love seeing you guys in the theater. There is still nothing better than going to the movie theater, to me, getting lost in that film inside the theater. It's just
one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, totally different experience than watching something at home. But two, give us some love. You got the QR code up on your screen. Give it a scan. It takes you to our homepage for all of our audio podcasts. We talked about some of those things earlier in the show. We love to have your support and feed your ears with some quality podcasts.
Shout out to Chris for participating in our chat. Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, as always, anytime, you're always welcome. Bring your Ghostbuster friends. But two, you can find us all over social media too, Kevin, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Blue Sky, whether it's one of our great groups on Facebook, the Fandom Podcast Network homepage, FPNet.podbean.com, Twitter, all of it. Where can people find you on social media, Mr. Reitzel?
Spartan_Phoenix. Yes, the Demolition Man reference. You can find me on all the socials, including Blue Sky at Spartan Phoenix.
And Lacey, I know you're not big on the social medias these days, but there's a couple of them I know people can find you on.
Yes, I am on Discord. I am on Letterboxd, and I am in real life at DragonCon in 3 weeks. I am at the Weston in the military sci-fi media track room. So if you want to come by and say hello and tell me about, you listen to a podcast, I'll give you a fun little badge ribbon.
Yeah, he's going to be handing out some FPNet ribbons out there, guys. So if you run into Lacey, tell her, I want one of those ribbons and I want it now. And of course, finally, to our good friends at TeePublic, we have a great partnership with them. You can find all the gear of the Fandom Podcast Network on TeePublic. Kevin, I believe you are sporting a Culture Clash shirt over there. Are you?
Yeah,
not?
We need to get that back up there, Kyle.
Yeah, we will be getting that back up there. But you can find t-shirts, mugs, hats, bags, pillows, tapestries, everything on TeePublic. They're always having sales going on. Give it a check out. Yeah, we get a little kickback here because we got to feed the kaiju in the basement. It gets hungry and it gets ugly, and so yeah, just help us out. Give us some support there. Plus, more importantly, we just love you guys seeing you wear our logos and giving us the support because we love our listeners so much, guys. This has been a great episode of Culture Clash here on the Fandom Podcast Network. A special thanks to my fellow reviewers. Another great episode, and especially, the knowledge of the Queen of Movie Foo, Kevin, the Gene Siskel, to my Roger Ebert for this episode. It's always so much fun, and I always have so much fun doing this live show with you guys.
It's always fun, man. Appreciate you. And Lacey,
thank you so much. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we have done this thing. And as we remind everybody out there, two most important things here at the Fandom Podcast Network: respect each other and enjoy your fandom. We have officially done this thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here.